Welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Aircheck and Classic TV channel.
You are listening to the Phillips File, where horrible news is reported horribly.
Yeah, still got it.
Radio. 104.1.
Spanning the World Wide Web to bring you the constant variety of sound. The thrill of victory.
I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
And the agony of defeat.
Chicken tetrazzini.
The sound of human drama captured in a world where everything is recorded. It's time to hear what's in Jack's audio file.
Trying to catch up on the news that's not fit to print. Let's hear what's in Jack's audio file.
Jim, a lot of things going on day number 171 of 2017. 171. Wow, time is flying by. 14 days until 4th of July. And it seems like daily we have reports of a different terror attack as, Europe deals with this more frequently than we do here at the States. London Mayor Sadiq Khan was talking about the recent attacks in his city and said he's worried about how children are looking at the latest terror attacks in London.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to make sure our youngsters have the resilience so they're not radicalised by others motivating individuals to commit these acts of terror.
Now, Great Britain as a whole had been through a lot during, not only World War I, but World War II, the constant bombing of World War II. So, but you have later generations and, this kind of terror and these kind of attacks are new to them. But Mayor Khan says that Londoners should continue to be vigilant.
We've got to make sure that the community has confidence to report these things to the police and to the authorities, but also the police will take a zero-tolerance attitude towards this.
Well, some are saying you got to give the British cops, the London cops, guns. Many of them do not carry firearms.
Well, they mentioned in one of the knife attacks, the initial cops were going after them with, billy clubs?
Yeah, they got those
or
truncheons or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
I got one.
What?
It would hurt if you got hit over the head, but still.
Yeah. Well, Mayor Khan says the police are increasing their efforts to protect citizens.
Our police and others are working their socks off, working around the clock. You will see additional visible policing over the course of today and the next few days. Don't be alarmed. They're there to keep us safe.
Let's go to Terence Covington, our man in the Congo. Reginald Drinkwater, BBC News.
However, Jim, Mayor Khan...
If I ever get over there again, I'm applying.
For the BBC News?
Yeah, but you're going to do it in a British accent?
Call it our Yank in London.
Oh, you won't put
so
an accent.
So you wouldn't be
Yank
doing...
in London.
No accent, though, right?
Do you think you could not do it in a British accent, or do you think you could not do it?
I don't know.
Oh, see, there it is.
Oops.
Yeah.
And it went
Elementary, my dear Watson.
You'd call everyone governor, as you do.
Governor?
Sometimes.
Well, let's not make a joke out of it.
Well,
How rude.
Hey, lastly, from London Mayor Khan, talking about the one thing that terrorists hate about Londoners.
Whether you're a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, a Hindu, a Buddhist, a Sikh, a member of an organised faith or not, rich or poor, old or young, you're accepted for who you are here in London.
So there you go. A nice, welcoming, all-inclusive message about the city.
It's a great city, for the most part.
Never been. Would have liked to gone. I was held captive when I was there.
Well, you went to that caravan. You had every opportunity to hop on a train and go into the city.
he was afraid.
You don't even know. No, I wasn't afraid.
You're in that caravan.
And then a
those are
bicycle.
awful.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's going to a foreign country where at least they speak English. I could do that. But now I'm going to South America.
You're going to have the time of your life. You're going to come back and guarantee when you get back, you say, this was the greatest trip. We had such a wonderful time. The people are wonderful. Blah, blah, blah. We're actually thinking about getting a vacation home there, just maybe moving there with the rest of the American expats.
Just about a week away from my 20th wedding anniversary. My wife and I are going to Costa Rica
Taking
next
a job
month.
at a radio station
And last night, I'm like...
La Paz or whatever.
Last night, I figured I'd start paying attention to the plans. And so we're going for 8 days.
Nice.
That's
Very
a long
nice.
time. Or 9 days.
That's
not
a great
8 nights,
vacation. Good for you.
But there's like a couple things planned, but there's a lot of days where there's like nothing planned. And I'm like...
You just get in the car, Daddy, and you travel, and you stop where you see something interesting. Go to the beach, stop at a bar. It's, monkey jumps on your car or something like that. Or
That'll be the story you come back telling.
I'm not sure about my Spanish, though.
Stop by some banditos or whatever on the highway, you know what.
And then you punch them.
They trade you a burro for your wife.
Oh, no deal.
All right. We'll trade her a burro for you.
Then just give him your wallet.
I don't know why I'm talking like I'm from Mexico.
I don't know.
Speaking of being an ass, burro, right? Burro's an ass.
I get it.
Caitlyn Jenner.
A burro's a donkey.
A donkey's an ass.
A burro is a donkey. A burro is a wild donkey.
Is a
They're the
wild
same thing.
donkey not also an ass?
I am not sure what an ass is. I can't remember whether an ass is a mule.
Oh, there's a mule, yeah.
Because there's a jackass, and isn't a male mule a jack? Isn't a jack and a Jenny? Whew, I'm getting too far over the skis.
Jenny.
I'm sorry, I don't
They're
know.
way over the skis here.
Jenny.
Research.
I'm looking.
Jim, when you want jokes about a Virginia shooting at a baseball field where members of Congress were hit and
That's not
critically
funny.
wounded,
Oh.
who do you turn to? Well, none other than Caitlyn Jenner.
As far as the people that were injured, it's absolutely safe. We just want them to recover. Fortunately, the guy was a really bad shot. And, liberals can't even shoot straight. I mean,
No, it's not funny. No, it's a lousy joke. Leave the funny to the funny people. And anybody who laughed at that, well.
Liberals can't even shoot straight.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So much for not politicizing,
She never had a good sense of humor. I mean, he was,
Not
when he was
funny.
he and she, it was like, oh my God, that Jenner, what a load of laughs.
So, okay, donkeys are called ass.
Yeah.
Mules are called jackass.
And a burro is a donkey.
Correct.
So a burro is an ass.
Yeah.
Great. I got Caitlyn Jenner's
Points.
insult correct.
But if somebody says I have a burro to sell, I mean, that's a wild donkey.
It has to be wild.
Yes.
Then how did he get it?
How did he get what? He went out there and lassoed it.
But it's not tamed.
Yes, hasn't been domesticated.
So
That's a burro. We like to pronounce it where I'm from. Burro.
Burro.
Would you like to see my burro?
Jim, someone who...
Hey now.
Anyway, for something entirely different.
Yes.
His name is Tim Lalia. He was biking for baseball. Okay, he was.
What does that mean?
He was on a bicycle. He was riding his bicycle to all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's a cool project.
It was an effort to raise money for a couple inner city kids. He wanted to raise $160,000 to provide college tuition for a couple inner city kids. And he got through a lot of the journey until he got somewhere in Alabama.
A guy crested a hill in a Ford F-150 and hit me going pretty good.
So he got pummeled by a truck. Guy comes across a hill, hits him. So this guy is biking, and then he, wakes up, partially broken back, broken foot. And so he had to end it. I think he did 20-something, 26 baseball parks already.
Got hit so hard he can't tell the difference between an adverb and an adjective.
Oh, just wait.
The first thing I remember was waking up on the side of the road. It's tough waking up knowing that the dream of a lifetime is over.
Oh.
Yeah. What he was trying to get $160,000, as I mentioned, but now, maybe he's going to get a little more attention. The way things happen, he's getting more attention for being in the accident than he was, just doing it. It was covered by Chicago's News. And one thing I noticed, what's his name? Chris Hush. Do you remember that name? Moira, do you watch West News or the news down here?
Yeah.
I think we had a reporter. I think he's in Chicago now because he was the reporter doing this story. Anyway, Tim Lalia hopes that he can still reach this goal.
Even though this trip has ended on an extreme sour note for me, it would really give this journey a sense of fulfillment in my eyes, and really kind of give this journey its final closing message that it deserves.
So, in closing, I suggest we put Pinkman on a bike and have him go to the baseball stadium's mist on Tim's effort to complete this. What do you think?
Yeah,
Awesome.
Warren Sapp says he's starting to suffer the effects of the many hits he took during his long football career. Sooner or later. At least on the high school level and below. Don't you think? It's just a matter of time. Somebody's going to sue a high school, and and then the rest of the districts across the nation say we can't afford the liability.
Right, exactly.
It's going to keep evolving. I remember when you first brought up the
first
CTE, was in the Times.
Mm-hmm.
This is several years ago. Right. I saved it, but people were flipping out at the idea that anything could tarnish pro football or just football in America.
I remember when I brought it up several years ago. I just started reading about it. Just kind of the news was breaking on this a little bit, and I said, hey, this is going to change football. It's just going to happen. I'm sorry. That's the way that it is, because you're going to see more and more parents say, I'm not let my kid involve himself in that sport. Going to go swim, play tennis or something.
You don't get conked in the head.
Disc golf.
Yeah, and then
I don't know
they
about
graduate to
golf.
hacky sack.
Yeah. Or how about foot golf?
Except hacky sack people, I think they're all stoners. Anyway,
Are they?
I think for the most part.
Usually.
Yeah. And they wear that knitted Jamaican schmata on their head. It's like, come on, dude, what's that all about?
Maybe that's why I could never play. I always thought it was a lack of coordination. I didn't know. I just needed a little weed.
A lot of weed.
Do you?
I don't know.
Pinkman's good at it.
What?
All right. So anyway, Jim, you often talk about never being invited to be the commencement speaker at graduation.
Correct.
That's not the only person who speaks at graduations. You usually get a speech from the valedictorian, and is that the highest grades, Mo? Usually,
Yeah, it's almost always. Yeah,
What's a salutatorian?
that's second in line.
Okay, so valedictorian is the highest
Top
GPA.
grade getter.
And usually it's a message of you try and be inspirational to your fellow classmates and things
I hear
like
it
that.
coming.
Is this the kid who went rogue?
Well, he went a little rogue. Valedictorian Peter Butera had his microphone cut off mid-speech after he started criticizing the administration of the school.
Despite some of the outstanding people in our school, the lack of a real student government, combined with the authoritative attitude that a few teachers, administrators, and board members have, prevents students from truly developing as leaders. Hopefully, this will change.
Let him speak. Yeah, so finally, he gets down.
I think he's right on target.
And the kids cheer him, and then the person filming that's way in the back, this is like in the football field where they did the graduation, and then someone goes, I'm so proud of him. But you can actually see that video because Peter Butera, the valedictorian, posted that video on his Twitter account. We have it on our website at realradio.fm.
Can't wait for his voice to change. Peter.
So, I got a
Thank
little.
you very much, and I'm so happy to be here.
I'll give you a little. We have something coming up. Jim, I know you love it. It's the late night trio on Who Said It Best.
Here we go.
That's on deck. But first, a little name that tune because Canada-based musician Steve Onatera turned a well-known song into a vintage spaghetti western theme. So it's a different spin on a well-known song. I'd ID the song for you.
Billie Jean.
There you go, Michael.
Nice job, Mo. Points.
Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. It sounds cool, though.
Yeah,
It totally had that Western feel to it.
Nifty.
Okay, so Jim, our 2017 competition of Who Said It Best.
Here we go.
Where we take the late night talk show hosts, we grab 3 of them who address the same topic in their opening monologues on their programs. We pit them against each other, and Jim, you are the decider of Who Said It Best. They get a point. We keep a tally going, and we know that Jimmy Fallon has a big lead over everyone else.
Yeah,
However, he will not be extending the lead today because he is not in the running. Instead, we have James Corden, Seth Meyers, and Jimmy Kimmel taking on the topic of Beyonce's twins. Who said it best?
Beyonce's twins are here. Congratulations. Beyonce's father announced on Twitter that she gave birth last week. 2 healthy twins weighing in at 6 pounds, 7 onces.
Beyonce gave birth to twins this weekend, and so happy. But this is surprising. Their names are Kevin and Linda.
Beyonce and Jay-Z, they report Beyonce gave birth to a boy and a girl on Monday here in Los Angeles. Beyonce was surrounded by her husband, their doctor, 2 nurses, and a man blowing a giant fan through her hair.
All right, who do you like? Tough one, right? They're all, okay.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Kimmel. I'm giving the point to
Oh,
Kimmel.
Kimmel gets a point.
Yeah.
All right, Mo, what does that give Jimmy Kimmel? Is he
6.
getting 6?
Closing in on Fallon with 9.5. But then after Kimmel, we then have a cluster of people. Corden 4.5, Conan 4, and Seth Meyers and Colbert have 3 apiece.
They're going to have to work harder at being funnier.
I guess.
Despite the fact that Colbert is doing much better in the ratings.
He's killing them in the ratings.
Yeah.
A lot of that, they say it's because of his attitude towards the president.
Mm-hmm.
Political stuff.
I just cannot. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Colbert. People love him, and I just can't. I think it's a holdover. I think it's a holdover from his previous gig, and I bought into it without, being a little naive. And it just, every time I see him, I think of that character that he played on Comedy Central.
Conservative character.
And I hated that character.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean I hate him, but I just didn't like the character because he was too good at it.
He was good at what he did.
He was so good at it that you'd say, shut up.
He played a right-wing Bill O'Reilly type talk
he
show
even had the
host.
stuff running down the side of the thing like everybody else. Yeah.
But,
well.
All right. I'll try. What are you going to do?
Well, Jim, it is day 171 of the year. That's your audio file. Kind of like it.
Yeah, we'll take a little break. No Fritz on the street today. We're not going to do that. He's in Alaska panning for gold or something up there, maybe hunting for caribou. It's the Phillips File on Real Radio 104.1. Check out the news. Here's Big Daddy.
This is Big Daddy with your headlines. After a 2-week search, a woman has been reunited with her pet tortoise. Sounds like it was a slow process. Ha ha ha. Ha. Next, a baby born on a Jet Airways flight to India will get free flights for life. Lucky baby. Must be nice being born rich. Finally, a couple almost threw away what was believed to be a losing lottery ticket. After a second look, they realized they had won a $700,000 jackpot. Lucky couple. Must be nice being rich. Headlines were brought to you by Filatowski Cataract and LASIK Institute. Go to myvisionfreedom.com. End transmission.
You are listening to The Phillips File.
Real Radio 104.1.
So I have breaking news from across the pond from the world of actors and actresses and movie stars.
You are correct, Jim. Daniel Day-Lewis today has announced that he will be giving up acting at the end of the year, maybe into January.
Oh, my God.
He's the last movie he has already in the can, as they say in the industry.
He's retiring at the end of this year?
He is. Huh.
Ever see him in The Last of the Mohicans?
No, but I did see him.
If I was a woman, I would have jumped on him so faster than Mugwa.
More Jim's gay
You know what I'm
fantasies.
saying? If I were female, I'm telling you, I would have jumped on him faster than you could say Hawkeye.
listening.
I mean, are you getting the connection?
Nah.
The Mugwa? Hawkeye? Any connection?
He gave no reason for his retirement.
I wish we saved all your gay fantasies on air.
That and Paul Prudhomme, although he's passed on. Daniel Day-Lewis did not give a reason for his retirement, but his spokeswoman, actually. Preeple says that Daniel Day-Lewis will no longer be working as an actor come the end of the year or into January.
Oh, man.
Grateful to all of his collaborators and audiences, blah-blah-blah.
I know more women who were turned on by that opening scene of Last of the Mohicans when he's chasing that elk or deer or whatever the hell it is through the woods. You know what I'm talking about?
Never seen that movie.
You know, in his buckskin breeches or whatever the hell he...
Chaps.
Please, Jim, be still my beating heart. Oofa. Anyway.
Great actor.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
How are they going to do that?
I think what's happening, he's retiring because recently there's been more and more talk that the motion picture, There Will Be Blood, may be now considered the best movie ever made.
What?
By you?
It is a great film.
No, not by me, but by others.
That was good. I'd have to go back and watch it.
Best ever?
Yes.
I've seen it a few times.
Name a better one.
I don't know.
Yeah, name
Pulp
a better
Fiction.
one.
Lincoln.
Oh, of his movies?
Another Daniel Day-Lewis film.
Yeah, oh boy.
Exactly. Because I thought that he was pretty amazing in that.
My Left Foot.
March of the Penguins.
And if
I
you're
didn't like that movie.
No?
No.
Never
My
saw
Left
it.
Foot?
Mm.
Me neither.
The Man with One Red Shoe.
There's one where he was the boxer. What was that? What was he? Oh, he was the Irish boxer. He was in that.
Was it Gangs of New York?
He was in Gangs of New York. That was too bloody for me.
I just watched that a
Did
couple
you like
weeks
it?
ago.
Never
It
seen
was
it.
too graphic for me.
It was, but it just made me think, it's like, oh, what an awful time.
Correct.
You know, and this was Civil War time in inner city New York. Like inner city anywhere always seems to be awful.
Absolutely awful.
And it was just a different, and it was, you know, it was racism. It was violent.
Cutting each
and
other.
dirty. Ugh.
Dirty.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Now you think in 100 or 200 years they'll look back at 2017 and say, oh, geez, they were so dirty.
So dumb.
Filthy.
Really? Polluters? Ugh.
God almighty.
Yeah. And if
Hygiene.
And if you're a sports fan, this is also breaking news. Again, a parting of the ways. Phil Mickelson, the golfer, is parting ways with his caddy after 25 years.
What?
Yeah. His caddy is Bones McKay or Jim
what
Bones
happened
McKay.
there?
Was he eating some of his Cheez-Its or
I
something?
don't know.
Caddy
I
divorce.
don't know. It's not based on a single incident. Their decision. Right time for a change. You know?
Sounds like a celebrity.
How long do you
divorce.
think it would take to learn how to play it?
Be a caddy?
Yes, learn how to be a caddy.
That's not easy. I don't
Oh, you put a bag on your shoulder and say use a 7-iron.
No, that's not how it works.
No, that's exactly how it works. And I wonder over those 25 years how much he's made as the caddy.
It doesn't have his
Millions.
salary here,
No.
but
Millions.
these guys are famous for chatting it up before the shot and doing all that. This guy, this caddy, has been there for all but one of his 42 PGA wins, 5 majors, multiple triumphs in the Riders. I mean, this
I bet
is
it's that
the
one he
guy.
missed that cost him his job.
What
Yeah,
one?
probably told him that skeleton joke and he
Oh, and then that was.
muffed the putt.
I don't think so.
Phil?
Maybe that's why he got fired.
Nah, I don't even know if he got
Settle down, Phil. I gotta settle. You know, okay, just take a break. So skeleton walks into a bar.
Oh,
right?
my God.
We've decided to separate over an ill-timed skeleton joke.
Warren Sapp, now he's
Yeah.
going to donate his brain to science, he says. Warren Sapp up there in Apopka, the great Tampa Bay Buccaneer. That's who he played for, didn't he? And he says he's feeling the effects.
Well, he's got medical issues. He didn't say what.
Well, it says here in the report I got, he says he's beginning to feel the effects of playing football.
Oh. That means his back hurts or aches or what? I mean, aches and pains?
No, his brain, his head. He can't remember things.
Not good.
Telling you.
I'm telling you, guy.
So there.
What else is happening? Oh, Mo, over the weekend, I forgot. I don't have yesterday's report, the ones that you filled out about what you were doing. Everybody watched Better Call Saul last night, the finale?
Yes. Season finale.
No. I mean, no.
Which
Yes.
is it?
No.
Mo, you had a 50-50 chance to get that one right.
I got it wrong. Darn it. Ah. Yeah.
You liked it?
I liked it a lot.
I did too.
Well, my question is, was it a worthy finale?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
The summer discipline, you think like,
No,
that's it?
No, it's
Ah,
like,
good.
oh.
And I'm really glad that I was able to catch Talking Saul after.
I didn't see that.
And so with Chris Hardwick, he interviews cast members and,
Right.
and the writers, and they talk about the arc of the season, where they're going, this and that, and it was just, pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Well,
Have they promised another season? Is
Yes.
that already happening? Oh.
yeah, it's a bona fide hit among cable shows, right?
They're doing at least
Agreed.
a fourth season. I predict. See, this is one of those situations. Since it's a successful prequel, they know where they want to end up, so they have to determine how long it's going to take them to get to that point, and everything has to happen on that time frame. I'm guessing it's probably a 5-season plan, so I would guess that there are 2 more seasons.
Is there anything wrong with eating ice cream for dinner?
No.
How about 2 bowls?
It's not
Nothing
super healthy,
wrong.
but it's fine
And
every
then
now and
having-
then.
The first bowl is dinner. The second is dessert.
I
And
love
then
it.
having ice cream for breakfast the next day.
Oh, boy.
I would say probably you would want to alternate those
Flavors?
indulgent
No.
meals.
Mm-mm. How about some nutrients somewhere? along the line?
Fruit.
I covered them in walnuts.
Oh,
I got some
vegetable.
protein.
Mhm.
I like the walnuts, on top.
Mhm.
Nice and crunchy they are.
Nice and crunchy.
You know what I'm saying?
Add a bit of crunch to your ice cream, they will.
Mm-hmm. Kind of cool and refreshing.
What are you, chimney
With-
sweep over there?
Pretty uncle, put some walnuts on the ice cream.
Brother.
Sprinkle them here and there, Crunchy, crunchy.
Delicious, just like Mother used to make
Oh,
back
no.
when we wasn't so poor.
Doesn't Mike Pence call his wife
Yes,
mother,
he
refer to his
does.
wife as mother?
Yes, he does.
Can I just say,
It's weird.
I think it's creepy.
It is
My
weird.
grandfather on my father's side would refer to his
His
mother.
wife as mother. Mm.
Usually to the tune of, Mother, would you mind fixing me another highball?
Oh, boy. Mm.
Of course, when you're a kid, you don't know highball from anything else. It's not until later in life that, geez,
He's having,
they were
yeah.
drunks too.
Guy had a lot of highballs.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a highball, but when you start drinking them at 11 o'clock in the morning. Wow. They sure do nap a lot, Dad. 1-888-978-1041. What else is happening? Mo was talking about, what were you talking about over the weekend? Cemeteries and wills? And
Oh, God, yes. I don't know when how it started, but we were talking about.
I think once you pass 100.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, everybody there was, talking about their end of life decision stuff. And do you have a plot? Do you have a will? What about a trust? Who you going to leave? What to whom and what? I mean, it was.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird.
People staking out territory?
No,
Hey, I'd really like to get my mitts on that thing.
Nope.
But,
What was the? I'm sorry. What was the setting for this?
Just at home.
Well, how did that start?
We had a lot. People were over for the holiday, and I had company and all that. And we started talking about
For Father's Day?
they
Is
were over
somebody
for Father's-
sick?
Yeah.
Is somebody sick and then said, geez,
Get their affairs in order. I don't
and
think
so
so.
they said, do
No.
they have a will? And then all of a sudden, it starts clicking, and then all of a sudden said, oh, yeah, really? That person has that thing of always wanted to have that.
It's like
it's probably healthier to have that discussion instead of just wondering and keeping it to yourself.
Should have a will, living
well, you should have a will, and
Yeah.
then a living will, and then a this
Well,
will,
have
and a that
living
will. Yeah.
Otherwise, they fight over, who's going to pull the plug.
Oh, wait. There's options?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we volunteer?
You make it your healthcare surrogate, the person
Yeah.
you want to be in charge of that.
I have to change one of mine, the number 2 person.
Yeah, like I said, can we
I got a strong number 1, but number 2 we're thinking about changing.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to volunteer.
No, I'm not
Come
giving you that
on.
authority. I know what you want. You're not getting any of it. Not
Wait,
yet.
I thought he wants the hose nozzles.
I wanted the Army men, I thought.
Oh, I thought it was arm.
I'd take the hose nozzles. What else you got? Can we come over and look?
The
Ew.
the Army men, they're worth a lot more than the hose nozzles.
I'll take them.
Oh, my God.
But the hose nozzles are a real great topic of discussion if you need that in your house. Hey, Dad, when's the last time you polished those brass hose nozzles?
That'd be never.
Well,
It's quite As a matter of fact, I might have the greatest collection of garden hose nozzles than anybody else in the United States.
Wow.
I doubt that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you look on eBay?
It's the Phillips File on Real Radio 104.1.
This is Kaká with Orlando City, and you are listening to the Phillips File on Real Radio 104.1.
Real Radio 104.1.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more.
That's an appropriate song. Let me just take a couple of minutes to alert you to, well, you'll find out about it sooner or later, so I might as well talk about it now because the memo has been issued. This is something that I've been thinking about for the past several months or so, and that I've been kicking around for a while, and I've been in this business for a very, very, very long time, since about 1968, so do the math. And essentially came to the conclusion that it was time to hang it up. So I met with management today, and who's been, and let me make this very clear. Even though I rattle their cages from time to time, and make fun of them sometimes on the air, and this company has been very, very, very kind to me. They let me do my thing. They've never pushed me around. They never said, don't do this or don't do that. Of course, I think I've been kind to the company, too, but be that as it may. So I went into the big boss today, Ms. Bird, and I said, do you mind if I close the door? And just said, it's time for me to retire and reinvent the rest of my life. I don't talk about my age at all. Some people have been able to figure it out. Some people, when they finally meet me, say, oh, geez, you're a lot older than you sound. Well, I mean, they do. And the fact of the matter is I will be 70 years old in November. And it's time to, in the time that's remaining, whether I have a year or 20 years or longer, it's time to reinvent myself and do something else. And so we agreed. They were kind enough to say, well, how do you want to do this? And I'd say I'd like to retire in January of 2018. And they said, okay, well, let's go ahead and we'll make this work to everybody's satisfaction. So essentially that's the story. I don't know if it'll be in the paper. Sooner or later it will. They'll do the standard, oh my God, Central Florida radio icon Jim Phillips retired, blah, 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 blah. And the text and the tweets will come in, some, oh, we're going to miss you so much. And then you got the other people who I love who say, oh, good, that old goat's finally calling it quits. I mean, well, that's part of the deal. I get that. But, if nothing else, whether you love me or hate me or something in between, the fact of the matter is I think I've always been honest with everybody. I mean, I pull people's legs and, tend to engage in exaggerations here and there and whatever. And a lot of it is just, it's the radio business. It's the radio game. It's the show. It's the program. But it's time for me to make a change. And I just don't want to die behind the microphone. That's all. I just, I got other things to do with my life. As I told Ms. Bird today, many of the things that I'm interested in that really I have a big interest in, by and large, the audience would not have an interest in. So if I talked about it on the air, I'd have no audience whatsoever. And I'd like to go farther in that direction and explore those things that I have a deep interest in. And so we're going to move in a different direction. I have no idea what the radio station has planned. I ask that I not be involved in that because I'm going to be very busy trying to decide what I want to do and what I need to do come January. And if they want to come to me and ask for my advice or suggestions, I'd be more than happy to help them out. But I'm not going to be charging down the hallways saying, I think you need to do this, and I think you need to do that, and blah, 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 blah. So that's what's happening, and come January, something else will take the place between 3 and 7. I've just decided, it's been eating at me for a while, to be honest with you. I've been thinking about this for several months, as a matter of fact. I have a contract that, would follow me for several more years. But the contract certainly, they can't hold you to, well, you got to stay here. Well, what are you going to do? Shoot me? But they understand, and they've been kind enough to say, thanks for all your help over the years, and thanks for making, the show a success, and thanks for your contributions to the success of the company, and we appreciate that. And I said, thank you very much, and, let's just, settle this in some form or fashion. So beginning in 2018, I'll be off to new adventures, and whatever takes its place, I'm sure it will be absolutely fantastic. Now, I told Pinkman today, I said, I will bet you $1 between now and when I leave, I'll cry on the air.
Oh, should I write that down? Now. I'm writing it down.
I'll bet you $1, Pinkman, that between now and 5:15, I will cry on the air. Want to take the bet?
Ooh, 8 minutes? I don't know. I think you could force yourself in
I don't
that
think you can.
Then you take the bet.
No, I'm not done.
There's going to be some, I can't, there'll be some, weepy moments. I mean, this show has been on the air for 30 years, and it's changed over the years. Sure. In, some form or fashion. Remember the guy last week who I was yelling at, just screaming at?
Yeah.
When I first started, that's all we did. That's
we did a lot of screaming.
Did for 4 hours, just scream at one another. And throw, call each other names and this and that and whatever. And that settled down over the years because you just can't keep that up. You just can't do it. And it's turned into just a stream of consciousness over the many, many years now. If you listen to this program, the different directions that we take on a daily basis. It goes here, it goes there. It's like it just ping pongs all over the place. And I imagine that will be the way that it is until my last day here. So that's essentially it. I'm retiring. I'm moving. I'm not retiring from life. I'm just retiring from this particular business and moving on to God only knows what. Now, maybe, my wife keeps saying, you got to be prepared for this, Jim. This is a big step. And it's a big step for anybody who retires. And, so you got to be ready. You've had a voice in this town, and you've, I'm not the type of person, at least I don't think I am. I've never been the person, and I know people in this business, they want the best, table in the restaurant and this and that. And, when I get off the air at 7, I'm off the air. Other people, they're not like that. I'm not trying to dismiss them, but that's the way that they operate. They're what they do on the air. It's with them 24/7. I'm generally not like that. I mean, I'm always kind of thinking about the program, but there are other things when I get off the air that garner my attention much more than what I do between 3 and 7. But my wife says, you gotta be ready. You gotta prepare yourself because things. You're not going to have that voice anymore. You're going to have to find an outlet for if you want to call it your creativity or whatever the case might be. And much more often than not, my lovely wife, Catherine, she's right on target. So probably I'm thinking about leaving the area for a while, just to have a complete break. And just go away for a while, try to get my thoughts together, my head together, and then come back, and maybe I will have decided to take another direction. I just hope it's not, please take me back, please take me back. I don't think that's going to happen. Everything that I can do on the air, I've done. Everything I've talked about, everything. I can't think of anything that essentially we haven't talked about over the past 30 years in some form or fashion.
I think you should take a page from our president and go exclusively on Twitter. And when we do have a new afternoon show, I think you should heckle them live on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Jim, the texts are pouring in, the real mobile 77031.
Exactly.
You suck.
99.9% are just wishing you the best and shock and thanks. And then there's one that says, Whatever you do, Phillips, please take Jack and Mo with you.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
All right,
good
I'm
riddance,
safe.
good riddance. We'll get that liberal off the air. What does he think? I get that. I've been living with that for 30 years as well. So that's nothing new to me.
Someone says
I love those people as much as I love the people who think otherwise. I mean, they're all part of the program. Whether they text or whether they email me or it's like the Midas guy. The Midas guy who's been on my case for year after year after year after year.
Right-wing guy.
Exactly. He just cannot stand a lot of the stuff that I say, and he lets me know about it. But he still listens. So anyway, so that's the story. Going to be gone in January, but it'll be business as usual until that time because we're not going to do anything special. I've asked management. I want to make this very clear, and they understand. I'm not the type. I don't want a roast, and I don't want a going away party. And it's my Irish stoicism. I don't like that kind of attention. It makes me very, very, very uncomfortable.
Will you, though, grow a Letterman type beard?
Oh, there's
my wife said, go ahead and grow the beard. And the other day, I said, go ahead and grow the beard, but it's not going to be one of those Letterman beards, is it? And I said, it's a beard. You just let it grow and see where it goes.
Uh-huh.
So,
that didn't go over very well.
I don't know. I might grow a beard, maybe half a beard. I don't know what I'm going to do.
What's half a beard mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just the right half of your face?
Maybe just stand for my chin, like King Tut.
Like a billy goat?
Anyway, so that's the deal. I want to let everybody know. I'll probably have to repeat this a couple of times until, listeners who tune in, tune out, this and that, whatever.
However, it's not today. It's not tomorrow. We're talking January.
It's January. Mm-hmm. So let everything settle, and there'll be some noise about it, and then it'll just kind of settle in. Oh, yeah, he's going. And, and then you, with some anticipation, wait for whatever takes the place between 3 and 7.
Another texter wants to know, is it your closest to the pin record that is helping drive this decision? The fact that you want to go out on top?
Yes, there's no question about it. Unless I get into a major slump with closest to the pin. If I get into a slump with closest to the pin where come December I have more losses than victories, I'm not going anywhere. It's the Phillips File on Real Radio 104.1.
You're listening to the Phillips File on Real Radio.
Real Radio 104.1.
And now the Phillips File presents a game that is not about being right or wrong.
Wrong?
It's a game that rewards the lucky.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
It's a game where you just have to be close.
That's right. You've got that right.
The game is closest to the pin.
Let's go while we're young.
And now, here's your ever-excited host, Jim Phillips.
Not leaving here without a fight. Time for another round of closest to the pin. What's my win-loss record?
Oh, impressive. 91 wins, 21 losses.
I'll head to the soundproof booth. I'm playing against Nick. Paul is the backup. What's the prize?
We have a $50 Pyro Spot gift certificate. Pyro Spot is your local source for the biggest and best fireworks with a massive selection of multi-shot cakes, mortars, rockets, and more. Now with 2 convenient locations to serve you, one in Longwood and one in Eustis. They have a BOGO on all fireworks. You can visit their website at iwantfireworks.com for valuable coupons and for your chance to win a fireworks shopping spree to be awarded on July 1st at Pyrospot Fireworks.
Pyrospot, the only place to go for your fireworks in Central Florida. Let's welcome our player, Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hey, Jack. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You ready to play?
I am.
Great. We have a category submitted today by Mr. Brad, co-producer for All Gaming on the Phillips File, and it's entitled As the Crow Flies. Okay? You need to guess the distances between Orlando and these file-familiar destinations. And so just as a point of reference, from Orlando to Cleveland, Ohio, as a crow flies, That's 897 miles, okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to give you a distance from Orlando to a series of places. You tell me the distance as the crow flies. You got it, Nick?
Gotcha.
All right, we're going to reset the clock for you, my friend, and we'll begin your round in 3, 2, 1. If Moira was a crow, how many miles would she have to fly to get from Orlando to Syracuse, New York?
1,300.
If Jack was a crow, how many miles would he have to fly to get from Orlando to Asbury Park, New Jersey?
1,400.
If Pinkman was a crow, how many miles would he have to fly to get from Orlando to Charlotte, North Carolina?
482 miles.
If Jim Phillips was a crow, how many miles would he have to fly to get from Orlando to White Plains, New York?
1,250.
If Eddie the Shaman was a crow, how many thousands of miles would he have to fly to get from Orlando to the moon?
260,000 miles.
Great job,
Wow.
Nick. Put you on
The
hold.
moon.
Let's bring. That is awesome work.
To the moon, man.
Yeah.
And
I
that made me laugh when I read it.
I like being a crow.
I took a different approach today. I actually pre-read a category.
Nice.
Thanks to Brad.
Impressive.
As
Thanks,
Jim
Brad.
comes back in.
Oh, boy.
His record on the line.
Mhm.
Mo, what is his record?
91-21.
91-21, and we were wondering would he hit 100 wins before 25 losses.
Ooh.
Come on.
I mean, come on.
Did anyone bet money on it?
No, nobody would take it.
What?
Jim certainly didn't.
No.
No deal.
What do you think is going to happen? You don't think you'll hit 100 wins before 25 losses?
I don't have that kind of confidence.
Oh, jeez.
Since when?
All right, Jim, we have a category submitted by Brad, co-producer, for all gaming in reference to the bonus pin question. The name of this category, Jim?
Yes.
As the Crow Flies.
All right.
Guess the distances between Orlando and these file familiar destinations.
Okay.
Okay, a point of reference. It's 897 miles from Orlando to Cleveland, Ohio.
I know that.
As the crow flies.
As the crow
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you a
Yeah,
series
sure.
of destinations.
Okay.
You give me the distance. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Reset the clock for you, and we'll begin in 3, 2, and 1. If Moira was a crow, how many miles would she have to fly to get from Orlando to Syracuse, New York?
1,275.
If Jack was a crow, how many miles would he have to fly to get from Orlando to Asbury Park, New Jersey?
1,125.
If Pinkman was a crow, how many miles would he have to fly to get from Orlando to Charlotte, North Carolina?
875.
If Jim Phillips was a crow, how many miles would he have to fly to get from Orlando to White Plains, New York?
1,175.
If Eddie the Shaman was a crow, how many thousands of miles would he have to fly to get from Orlando to the moon?
240,000 miles.
Whoa.
What do you think about that?
That was speedy. I don't
That
know about
was
the
speed.
answer.
You went for speed. Moira, did you get all of them?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, I know one we were talking at the same time. Just want to make sure. Jim, I am still adding 5 seconds to your time. That's your
Yeah,
handicap.
you can add 6. I don't care.
Oh, gosh.
Done. I just added 6.
Stop it.
And now we
Now
have
you
a
did
game
it.
changer.
Oh,
boy.
my God.
Wow. You better win straight out on points. That's all
better.
I got to say.
All right, good luck, Nick.
Here we go. Go Orange. If Moira was a crow flying from Orlando to Syracuse, how many miles? Nick said.
1,300.
Jim.
Just a skosh under, 1,275.
1,045 miles. Jim is closer. Jim gets that point. Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey was Bruce Springsteen's debut album. How many miles from Orlando to Asbury Park? Nick said.
1,400.
Jim.
1,125.
910. Jim gets the point. It's 2-0. Home of the Charlotte Panthers and Pinkman. Charlotte, North Carolina. How many miles from Orlando? Nick said.
482.
Jim.
That's a good guess.
875.
464.
Oh,
Nick's on the
Damn,
board.
Nick.
Jim leads 2-1.
Leave me alone, Nick.
Good old Westchester County for White Plains, New York. How many miles from Orlando to White Plains? If Jim was the crow.
Yeah.
Nick said.
1,250.
That's a good guess.
Jim.
1,175.
He undercut him.
He did.
966.
There you
Jim
go,
gets
Pop.
the point. It's 3-1. But it all comes down to this.
Ah.
Hey, spaceman. Eddie the Shaman. If Eddie the Shaman was a crow and flew from here to the moon, I know you thought of sending him there many times.
Yeah.
How
Him
many?
and Mo.
How many?
Hey, can I get in this?
You're always in it, Mo.
I don't
Him,
like
Mo, and Alice.
How many thousands of miles to get to the moon?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nick said
260,000.
I got it.
Jim.
240.
238,900. Jim is closer. Jim wins the game.
I'm sorry, Nick. That's what happens when you go up against the best. There's no question about it.
Right.
When it comes to the regular round, the closest to the pin, I can't speak for the bonus round, even though Pinkman's having a good year. But when it comes to the regular round, I mean, I
win. Is there no one on this planet to even challenge me?
Oh, my.
Yeah, let me do that again.
I am the greatest. I will whoop him. I can't lose. Remember, close only counts in horseshoes.
We'll get it right before January.
Please.
Closest to the pin. I win.
What's my win-loss record?
92, 21.
21. Only 21 losses since the beginning of the year.
I think you make 100 before 25 losses.
Definitely.
How many losses?
21.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't know either. What's the Sean? Well, I got to take a break. Then we'll get back to the Sean Spicier bet. I don't know whether I'm going to win $1 or not, or whether it's going to be a push.
Know.
It's the Phillips File on Real Radio 104.1.